Hello. Today, I thank you so much for visiting our channel at Foreclosure Solutions, North Carolina. And today, I just wanted to talk to you about if you're going through in the midst of a foreclosure process. I know that there's great fear and concern about losing your home and your investment in your home. And most homeowners, and historically it has been very true, is that a home is a good investment, better than renting, and that you always hear the people say that renting is like throwing your money away. Or and so I just wanted to, a lot of things have changed in the economy since we went through the COVID virus. Um, During that time, investors, realtors, everybody thought their home prices were going to plummet. It's going to be terrible for real estate. And really, the opposite thing happened. Interest rates dropped way down. The government pushed interest rates down, which stirred up sales, unbelievably so. And you remember that time when you heard about home prices just continued to go higher and higher, and bidding wars and all that crazy times. And so and then we've gone through a time after COVID, and where we're experiencing inflation. Interest rates are more than double what they were. And so the whole economic condition has changed. And so today I just really wanted to talk to you about the whole question is, why is renting cheaper than owning a home in 2025? You know, you may still have this dream of owning a home. For generations, homeownership has been considered the ultimate goal of the American dream for a family, right? And so it's a symbol of stability, and it's a place where you can truly call it your own. But in 2025, you got to question, is that dream still a realistic and a correct viewpoint, at least for this time in history? Because more and more people are finding out and pressing sort of a pass on home ownership and choosing to rent. So let's talk about why renting might currently actually be make more sense uh, for for uh, for homeowners. Well, like I've just mentioned in the introduction, we've got higher interest rates. Home prices have just soared. The there's a cost of ownership that is just has also grown because of inflation, and it's making a lot of people rethink the whole thing about is time now the time to buy. So renting, which may have used to be just considered as a short-term fix, is now, it's really giving people some financial breathing room. Many are finding that renting costs monthly, that finding that renting cuts costs, monthly costs, and lowers the surprise expenses, and it leaves your budget a little more manageable, right? One of the things that can really frustrate you in life is if you have to go through every day worrying about, are you going to have enough money at the end of the month? That's not a formula for having a joyful and peaceful life. So if you're going to be weighing your options, it's really important that you understand uh, how much you could actually save by renting. Especially if you're in a situation where you're going through the foreclosure process, you've been experiencing the squeeze of financial tightness. And I know holding on to your home is your priority, and I understand that. We do everything we can at Foreclosure Solutions North Carolina to help you save your home. But in those instances where it may not be possible, or it may not be the best choice for your family health, even. It's just something to realize, is that maybe if renting becomes your option that you need to pursue now, it might not be all that bad of a choice. So let's try breaking down the numbers a little bit. All right. So as we said, home costs have been soaring. Renting versus owning it isn't just a plain it's math anymore. It's a reality check. Over the past few years, owning a home has gotten a lot more expensive. And it's not just about the sticker shock. Mortgage rates jumped from since 2022 um, for a 30-year fixed mortgage in 2020, it was 3%, around that range. Now it's often over 7%. That's more than double. So what does that mean to your real life? If you bought a home at 400,000, let's just pick a number. If you bought a $400,000 home, in 2022 with a 3% interest rate, your mortgage payment was like 1,600, 1,686, something like that. Uh, at a 7% interest rate in 2024, 25, 2661. That's almost $1,000 more per month just just in the borrowing costs, not alone the other things. That's a big change. Mortgage costs are just the tip of the iceberg, because homeowners, they face a stack of other costs that renters never even see. So let's take a look at some of those hidden costs. Property taxes are one. It can range from a 0.5% to over 2% for your home's value. And so on a $400,000 home, that would be up to $6,000 a year for property taxes. Another one is homeowners insurance. Now, the average is about $1,500 to $2,000 a year in many areas. And then there's maintenance and repair. Experts suggest that setting aside 1 to 2% of your home's value each year, and so that would be like $4,000 to $8,000 a year for things like roof fixes, plumbing, heating and air conditioning systems, and if you have a homeowners association, fees can range from 100 to over $500 a month. So, man, it all adds up. So a typical homeowner pays a mortgage of today for a $400,000, like 2661 for the mortgage, $500 a month for the property taxes, $150 a month for homeowners insurance, HOA fee of $200, and repairs of $350. That's a total of $3,861 a month. That's not even counting utilities, which have also gone up in cost. So renters, by contrast, they pay one single rent over hundreds or even thousands of dollars less per month. There's a reason why so many folks are sticking with renting. Over the last year, the numbers have tilted in favor of rents, and the gap between renting and owning similar homes has rarely been wider. In 2024, rental growth slowed down. In many cities, it actually reversed. The median uh, asking rent for a new lease in 2024 was about $1,396. That was only about a 0.7% increase over the previous year. That's barely keeping up with the inflation. In major cities, rents even dropped. So meanwhile, the median rent per month for a mid-priced U.S. not median price per month or mortgage payment per month for a medium-priced home in the U.S. was $22,745, and so you can see the price went substantial for owning the home. Just the mortgage is substantially higher than the monthly rent. Homeowners are footing bills that renters never even have to worry about. When you rent, you get to first of all, you get to skip the large down payment. Even a first-time homeowner buyer of a home who gets the greatest breaks on getting into ownership with the least amount of money, they still put up 3 to 5%, and many homeowners are still putting up 20%. So that can range from 20,000 to on a $400,000 home. That's cash the renters get to keep in their savings. Another area is renters avoid repairs and maintenance. A broken furnace, a roof leak, a appliance breakdown. That's the landlord's problem. That's not your problem. You also get to dodge the insurance rates. Homeowners insurance costs surged up at least like 20% in many parts of the country last year. And most renters can get by with a simple renter's policy for maybe under $200 a year. And forget about the property taxes. Homeowners deal with property tax bills that they often climb go higher year after year. Renters never have to pay that bill. In most rental agreements, you just pay the first month's rent plus a deposit. No hidden cost, no surprise repair bills, and no annual tax shock. You know, renting isn't just easier on your wallet. It brings sort of a life flexibility and peace of mind that homeownership can rarely match. Renters can make big and small life moves without the heavy anchor of home ownership. When your job shifts, when your family grows, or you simply uh, crave a new surroundings, moving is much easier as a renter. There's no need to worry about selling your home, finding a buyer, or waiting out a slow market. Um, Most rental agreements only last 12 months or even less. And if you need to relocate for work, to take care of family, or becomes a priority, change your options. You know what? There's no waiting for a sale. Homeowners sometimes wait months, even years, to sell, risking price drops and long vacancies. Renters, they only need to give a notice, and it's often a 30 or 60-day notice. And then there's lower moving costs. There's no need to cover the real estate agent fee or costly repairs to get the home ready for sale. There's no mortgage lock. You're not locked in any mortgage. Your rising interest rates or life changes can make the fixed mortgage limiting, but a lease gives you a natural resetting point. Renters get to focus on what's next and not holding them, and nothing's really holding them back. Home ownership it can mean a constant worry when financial conditions or the housing markets, gets a little rocky. Renters, on the other hand, they enjoy peace of mind uh, because they just avoid these hidden risks. For example, there's no market panic, right? The economy changes, housing market changes, home prices go up and down. Homeowners risk losing equity or owning more than the house is worth. Renters, they never face this risk. There's no surprise repair bills. Home repairs are rarely come at a good time. But for renters, it's the landlord's problem, not their own. And insurance stays pretty simple. It's renter's insurance, it's cheap and it covers your stuff. But you never get stressed out about home insurance and rates that spike up. And you know what? There's no property tax surprises. Taxes change or reassessments can hit homeowners hard, increasing the bills suddenly and unpredictably. But renters get to enjoy a sense of control that isn't tied to the complexity of the housing market or broken pipes. During tough times, this reduced stress can provides comfort and lets people focus on what's actually matters: health, family, and work. Many see that owning a home is an automatic path to wealth and stability. That comfort of building equity and putting down roots can feel reassuring. But still, renting has some long-term benefits as well that deserve some attention, especially when prices are home prices are skyrocketing and the borrowing costs, the interest rate on mortgage is causing your monthly budget to, be busted. So owning a home adds equity as your property value grows or as your mortgage shrinks. But that equity is often locked away, and it could fall if the market dips. For many renters, having savings and cash on hand is it's really just as powerful. And when you rent, your money isn't tied up in a down payment, closing costs, repairs. This gives you what they call liquidity, instant access to cash for different needs and opportunities. You can invest elsewhere with that extra cash. Instead of sinking $60,000 into a house down payment, you can invest that money. Stock market returns and other types of investments sometimes beat what home appreciation is, especially in a flat or falling market. You could start a business, a side hustle. Renters with extra cash can take big swings launching a business and boosting their skills. And you could fund big goals like education, travel, and supporting your family. You know what? You're just not locked into one asset. Liquidity means that you can respond quickly to new opportunities or emergencies. Unpredictable costs are hidden traps for homeownership. Roof leaks, rising tax bills, or even a surprise repair can wipe out your savings like overnight. On renting, on the other hand, it keeps things simple and steady. With leasing, you know exactly what's due every month. This steady expense, really lets you build your emergency fund without random repair bills that so you can plan ahead. You can sticking to a monthly budget. It's fixed rent makes it easier to chart your money for groceries, gas, and fun. And you avoid the financial surprises. Few renters need to fork out $5,000 out of the blue. Homeowners, even careful ones, also face the risk of big ticket repairs. So choosing to rent can seem like putting wealth building on hold. And for many today, it actually means building freedom, control, and peace of mind, the best bedrock for future success. So, just to wrap up, renting can unlock savings and peace of mind that are really hard to find in today's buying market. Low mortgage payments, fewer surprise costs, and real flexibility allows a family to focus on what really matters. You're not just skipping bills, you're protecting your time, your future from the stress that comes with owning a home right now. Now, as you weigh your next steps, remember to look at both the money and your need for calm and freedom. Ownership um, may still be the right call for some, but renting now offers stability and room for growth. Uh, so I just want to thank you for watching this video. I want you to keep in mind and not to feel like if renting is what your future holds, um, don't look at it as a loss of wealth building opportunity. It is not, especially in the current economic conditions. In fact, you could argue that to this day and this time, it could be your better choice for financial management, and it will simplify your life. It will allow you to focus on the things that are really important. So I have this and many, many other really great informative videos and articles on our website, which is www.foreclosuresolutionsnorthcarolina or nc.com. Go there and get educated about what's going on in the economy and also how to handle foreclosure issues. So thank you so much and have a wonderful day.